Welcome back to our channel. You guys, today is Thursday, a beautiful day to dive into some serious daytime drama, even if I am running on 3 hours of sleep and way too much iced coffee right now. Let's just jump right into the absolute chaos that is unfolding on our screens because my head is literally spinning. So let's talk about the absolute madness that just went down at Forrester Creations. I am honestly still trying to process what I just watched. I mean, we all knew the fallout from the beach house brawl between Will and RJ was going to be bad. Like, really bad, but I didn't expect it to get this dark this fast. Electra marching into Ridge's office. You could just feel the tension radiating through the screen. And Ridge, sitting there behind that massive desk, acting like the undisputed king of Los Angeles. It's infuriating, honestly. He just loves playing God with everyone's lives. But then it happened. Electra literally dropped to her knees. Yes, you guys, she actually got down on her knees in the middle of the CEO office. I physically cringed. Like, okay, maybe that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. It was classic soap opera gold, but also so hard to watch. She was begging him, pleading with him to drop this brutal ultimatum he slapped on her. She just wants to be free to love Will Spencer. And seeing a proud, talented Forrester woman reduced to begging on the floor, wow. Just wow. The writers really went there. And what she offered him in return, that is the part that really had my jaw on the floor. Electra looked Ridge dead in the eye, tears streaming down her face, her voice shaking, and told him she would give it all up, all of it. She offered to completely resign from her position as the head of the jewelry division. The jewelry line that she has poured her absolute heart and soul into. The line that was already put on pause because of all the Hope by Logan drama. But she didn't stop there. No, she took it a massive step further. She told Ridge she would surrender her entire Forrester inheritance. Let that sink in for a second. An inheritance at Forrester Creations isn't just a trust fund. It's power, it's legacy. It's shares in a global fashion empire. It's her entire identity wrapped up in that famous last name. And she is willing to throw it all away, every single cent, every single share, just to be with Will. A guy who, let's be real, has been lying to her for weeks about the whole Hope defection and Shauna's rival jewelry line. A guy who literally beat her cousin to a pulp. But love is blind, right? Love makes you do crazy, crazy things. Think about the history of that CEO office. The amount of tears, the amount of betrayals, the amount of hostile takeovers that have happened within those four walls. Eric Forrester built that empire, and now Ridge is sitting there using it as a weapon against his own blood. It just feels so wrong. Electra was standing on the very carpet where so many Forrester family wars have been fought, and she was fighting the most personal war of all. So how does Ridge react to this ultimate sacrifice? Does he soften? Does he show an ounce of paternal empathy or understanding? Of course not. This is Ridge Forrester we are talking about. He just sat there, rigid as a board, looking at her like she had completely lost her mind. He was completely stunned. You could see that much. The great Ridge Forrester actually at a loss for words for about 2 seconds. But then his face just hardened. It was like watching a wall of ice form right over his eyes. And then he opened his mouth and the hypocrisy just started flowing. He flat out rejected her offer. He told her that Will is a violent thug. A dangerous, unhinged threat who is completely unworthy of her. He refused to back down on his ultimatum. He basically told her that she is staying at Forrester, she is staying away from Will, and that is final. I was yelling at my screen. You guys, I really was. What were they thinking making Ridge this insufferable right now? Let's just zoom out and talk about the bigger pattern here for a second. Ridge calling Will violent. Are you kidding me? Ridge Forrester. The man who literally just marched into Bill Spencer's office a few episodes ago and punched him square in the face. The man who has resorted to physical violence against his rivals more times than I can count over the last 3 decades. It is so rich coming from him, it's honestly laughable. But Ridge has zero self-awareness. None. Zero. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I mean, he is a father figure, and he did see RJ bruised and battered after Will went to town on his face. Any parent would be fiercely protective. Okay, maybe that sounded a bit too forgiving, but you get what I mean. He wants to protect his son. But let's not pretend this is just about RJ's safety. This is about Bill. This is about the Spencer versus Forrester war that has just been blown wide open by Hope defecting to Logan. Ridge is projecting his deep hatred for Bill right onto Will. And Electra sees right through it. When Ridge refused to budge, something inside Electra just snapped. You could see the shift in her eyes. She went from a desperate, heartbroken girl on her knees to a cornered animal ready to bite. She stood up, wiped her tears, and the begging stopped. The threats started. And oh boy, did she bring the heat? She looked Ridge in the eye and threatened to expose the family's darkest secrets if he doesn't stop trying to control her private life. A full-blown rebellion. A total mutiny right there in the executive office. And honestly, good for her. It is about time someone stood up to Ridge's dictatorial nonsense. But it really makes you wonder, what exactly is she threatening to expose? There are so many secrets floating around right now. Is she going to expose the real reason Donna was fired and publicly humiliated by Eric? The fact that Eric is demanding one-sided loyalty while keeping his own massive secrets. Or maybe she knows something deeper about the hope for the future sabotage. Or maybe something about Thomas being away. Whatever it is, Ridge looked legitimately rattled for a split second. You don't threaten the Forrester patriarch in his own building unless you have the ammunition to back it up. I just keep thinking about Will in all of this. Will is sitting at home, probably drowning in guilt, talking to Bill about how he feels out of control of his temper. He thinks he lost Electra forever when she threw that necklace at him and moved out of the beach house. He has no idea that she is literally at the office offering to nuke her entire life and career just to get back to him. It's tragic. Really? It's like Romeo and Juliet, but with more corporate espionage and high-end fashion shows. And let's not forget about Melissa Dillon in all of this. Melissa is just waiting in the wings. We know she has harbored some serious, suppressed feelings for Will for a while now. She even had that bizarre medical episode or fainting spell at Will's house where she hallucinated seducing him. If Electra actually walks away from Will because of Ridge's pressure, or if Will thinks Electra is gone for good, Melissa might just swoop right in. And wouldn't that just be the messiest rebound ever? Melissa is currently working under Electra at Forrester, which makes the dynamic even more awkward. If Electra resigns, does Melissa get promoted? It's a tangled web, you guys, a very tangled web. And what happens to the Forrester jewelry line if Electra actually walks out the door? They are already struggling. Eric's highly anticipated haute couture return was a catastrophic critical and commercial flop because all the media attention was hijacked by the Hope by Logan launch. Forrester Creations is bleeding PR right now. They need a win. They need their jewelry division to shine. Electra knows this. She knows she is a valuable asset. By offering to resign, she is basically threatening to cripple another division of the company at the worst possible time. It is a brilliant, albeit desperate, tactical move on her part. She is hitting Ridge where it hurts the most, the company's bottom line. And what about RJ? RJ is probably somewhere in the building, icing his bruised face and plotting his next move. RJ has been hovering around Electra, playing the good guy, the safe choice. He even demanded that Ridge and Steffy fire Will. RJ is totally capitalizing on this breakup. If Electra actually gives up her spot in the company, RJ might just swoop in and take whatever power she leaves behind. RJ is playing a very calculating game right now, and I don't trust him for a second. He is opportunistic and gross. But it's working. Ridge is eating it right up. But back to Electra. Can we just appreciate the acting in this scene? The raw emotion. She has been pushed to the absolute brink. First, she finds out Will has been lying to her face for weeks about the HFTF diamond, Shauna's jewelry line, and Hope's defection. Then she walks into the beach house and sees Will beating the life out of RJ. She was horrified. She ended it, but the heart wants what it wants, right? She can't just turn off her feelings for Will, no matter how much Ridge yells at her. So now we have this massive standoff, Ridge holding her career and her family standing hostage, and Electra holding a ticking time bomb of family secrets. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Because I don't. Someone is going to get destroyed in this crossfire. If Electra actually goes to the press or exposes Ridge's hypocrisy, the Forrester PR nightmare will be 1,000 times worse than it already is with the Logan launch. Steffy is already in extreme damage control mode, trying to save Eric's haute couture flop. Imagine if Electra goes rogue and starts airing the family's dirty laundry. Steffy might actually lose her mind, and let's not forget Brooke. Brooke is away on a wellness retreat, completely unaware that the family is imploding. When Brooke gets back and finds out Ridge is bullying Electra and holding her hostage at the company, well, we all know Brooke has a soft spot for the underdog. I just can't get over the fact that Ridge thinks he has the moral high ground here. He literally has 9 marriages and 8 divorces with Brooke alone. He is the king of dysfunctional relationships. Who is he to tell Electra who she can and cannot love? It is just so infuriating. I need to take a breath. I am getting way too worked up over this, but you guys know how much I invest in these characters. It's just wild. I honestly think Electra should do it. She should walk away. Take her talent, leave the toxic Forrester environment, and go start fresh. Maybe she can go to Logan. Oh my gosh, imagine if Electra defects to Logan too. Katie would probably welcome her with open arms just to stick it to Ridge again. That would be the ultimate revenge. But we will have to wait and see who blinks first in this standoff. And let's be real, the writers have been building to this explosion for weeks. Ever since Katie forced Will to keep all those corporate secrets, the clock was ticking. Will was drowning in guilt, trying to balance his loyalty to his mom and Bill with his love for Electra. It was an impossible situation, and when the pressure got to be too much, he snapped. The violence at the beach house was awful, yes, but was it entirely unprovoked? RJ has been needling him, hovering around Electra, just waiting for Will to mess up. Will's temper is definitely an issue, and he even admitted to Katie that he feels out of control, which makes me wonder if there's a medical issue going on there. But Ridge acting like RJ is a perfect little angel is just laughable. This whole storyline is just a mess of double standards. Eric fires Donna for keeping a secret, completely ignoring the fact that he forced her to keep his health secrets not that long ago. Ridge punches Bill, then condemns Will for punching RJ. It's like the older generation is allowed to be as messy and violent and deceptive as they want, but the second the younger generation makes a mistake, they bring down the hammer. It's exhausting to watch, but also I can't look away. So what happens next? Does Ridge call Electra's bluff? Does he tell her to go ahead and resign? Or does the threat of exposing the family secrets actually force him to back down? I have a feeling Ridge is too stubborn to yield. He'll probably try to lock her in a room or something ridiculous until she agrees to forget Will. But Electra is proving that she has a serious backbone. She isn't just going to roll over and take it. What do you guys think? Is Electra making a huge mistake throwing her inheritance away for a guy with anger issues? Or is Ridge completely out of line playing God with her life? Let me know in the comments because my brain is spinning. I am going to go grab another coffee and maybe rewatch that scene just to make sure I didn't hallucinate the whole thing. Until next time, stay bold and beautiful, folks.